All right, all right. I can't believe we both got dressed up for this awesome occasion. We didn't do it for the Wrath of Khan, but we did it for this.
Hey, I had a Star Trek shirt
You
on
had
for
a
the
Star
Wrath of
Trek
Khan.
shirt, and I
Somebody
had
showed up with a Spider-Man shirt. What the hell?
because I got lazy.
For Morbius? Oh my god.
Yes, I did. So now I want to go straight into talking about Star Trek 3, right? Because you talk about
The
your
search
Star
for
Trek.
Spock.
Yeah, the search for Spock. Because you talk about the Star Trek curse. Like, the even numbers are
Well,
better
I don't
movies.
know. We keep calling it a curse. I don't know if it's a curse, but it's just even numbers are good.
Yeah,
Odd
even
numbers not
numbers are
so
good.
great.
Yes. So on this one, right, I kind of agree. It's the whole movie moves a little slow.
Yeah, it's a just a filler story.
It is a filler story, right? But the important point of this one was to tell me how badass Klingons are. Like they live with one rule, right? And like, dude, they
Yeah.
stick to it. They are ruthless. They're vicious. Like they don't even care if
Well,
you're on
it's
the same side. Like if you don't
well,
listen to
eventually it
what I
changes.
say,
They're more about warfare and honor.
warfare and honors. That you told me that
Yeah,
before.
they eventually. I mean, this was probably the first look of the modern Klingons with the bumps on the head stuff. I mean, we saw them in the first movie, but this
Mm-hmm.
showed you more their dress, their honor and stuff. Because I mean, they almost have no honor in the first movie, the TV series,
Oh,
where I got the shirt on. They almost have no
yes.
honor. They're cunning, they're ruthless. They're kind of supposed to be like represent the Russians, I'd say.
Oh, you
During the
think so?
Soviet Union, during the Soviet Union time, I guess we better point that out too. Not
Oh,
Russians, but during the Soviet Union, it's supposed to be the Soviets against like the federations, like the United States and most of the Western powers. Whereas the Klingons are part of the Soviet Union, while the Romulans, in a way, were the Chinese,
oh,
the
Romulans. Oh
Republic
my
of
gosh.
in a way. I
Yeah, in
mean,
a way,
as
yeah.
time goes on, they have
They
changed.
evolved
You
and
know,
changed.
they evolved and changed. I mean, Romulans are now the ruthless ones.
But
Klingons are the ones with all the honor.
but this is the one
But
that I first like seen like full on Klingon. They speak
yeah,
Klingon.
they speak Klingon, which is awesome because that inspired a book.
Klingon dictionary. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
the Klingon dictionary. So if you ever want to speak Klingon, this is available to anybody who wants to speak Klingon. Joy too.
Wow.
So
Wow. Because like the only thing I don't like, right? I think it's just probably back in the time. I think if they make that movie today, right, they would not speak a word of English.
they probably wouldn't spoke a word of English.
Yeah, because like they
But
they go
even though
back and
Klingons
forth.
did speak quite a bit
They
English,
do,
I mean,
yes.
they're the adversaries to the United Federation of Planets. So most of them spoke English because of the planets they wanted to conquer. So
Oh.
English, speaking English to Klingons, they speak their native language, but then they'll speak English. They don't have a problem with it.
So what is the
They're
deal
like,
with Klingons?
what do you mean?
Like
Are they
how
buttholes?
come they like how come they are like I guess the United uh Federation of the Planets, right?
And
Why
then you had
are
the Klingon Empire.
yeah, and the Klingon Empire? How come the Klingon Empire never agreed to the treaties of like joining within this United?
Because they want their own planets.
They want their
The
own
United,
planets.
okay,
Okay,
we got to point out the United Federation of Planets is made up of member planets who want to join.
okay,
I mean, within Federation space, there's probably lots of little solar systems and stuff that don't belong to Federation of Planets. And, the Federation doesn't intervene or in their politics or anything. I mean, like if let's say you're Andorian, Andorians join, which anybody doesn't know what an Andorian, they're the blue people with the little antennas on the head and white
oh,
hair.
oh okay,
But anyways, they joined the Federation. They wanted to. They're a member nation. It's like a NATO, more like a NATO than I'd say United. Instead of the United Nations,
mm-hmm.
because United Nations basically everybody's on it. You can join and stuff. So, but this is what it is. It's made up. Yeah, the Federation is made up of a bunch of planets who join. And they become a member planet or solar system of the Federation.
Right,
But the Klingon Empire takes over planets, and
yes.
whether you want to or not, you have joined the Klingon Empire.
That's what I got the feeling like they do it by
Same,
force.
same thing goes with the Romulans, which we won't see for a while. I guess the Romulans, you only see one Romulan in the entire first movie series, all of Kirk's,
Yeah,
and that's in Star Trek 5. But you never really see the Romulan Empire.
yeah. I haven't seen any Romulans. So
it'll be a long time before you see those. But
So
they're basically do the same thing. They own tons of planets. You know the Romulans, so only because you like to start the
the
first
first one, like
J.J.
I
Abrams
only know
Star
about the
Trek.
Romulans from the first one. Yes.
Yes.
But then with this, right, with the I guess with the Wrath of Khan and this helps me better understand the J.J. Abrams stories more. Like, you know, when
Yeah.
we act like, oh, is it Romulans? Who are we looking at when they're being
Yeah.
under attack? So it's like,
Yeah.
oh, now I understand the
But
reference
in
better.
this period, in the movie period of Kirk's time, the Klingon Empire was the main power, the enemy power. Yeah, because I mean, in the Star Trek 2, you see that they got a neutral zone, and that they're training to fight Klingons.
Yes.
And then, of course, the first movie you see Klingons, and
And
then in this movie, the Klingons come across,
Dr. Brown.
torpedo ship, break a bunch of treaties. Yeah.
So I was really
Doc
surprised
Brown
when I
is a
saw
Klingon.
Christopher Lloyd's name. I was like, oh, I wonder who's going to play. Dude, then he played the leader of the Klingons. Well, of that
He's
ship.
the captain.
He's the
Yes, he
captain
is the
of that
captain.
ship, yep.
I don't know if you ever watched Night Court.
I have not.
Well, there was a TV show called Night Court came on. John Larroquette. He also had the John Larroquette show. He's Mott's,
Oh,
the
he is?
Klingon that they capture at the end.
Oh.
Which, by the way, if you read the Klingon dictionary, they would like to thank Mott's for his hard work for being a prisoner and teaching them the Klingon language. Because remember, now I want to point that out, because to Klingons, you know, they're very warrior-like.
Yes.
Everything's about honor, war. Like, it's better to die than be a prisoner.
Oh.
Or turn old. You don't want to be, if you're old or you become a prisoner, you might as well just die of shame. You bring dishonor to the house, to the Klingon house.
Wow.
Or the Klingon Empire by dying. That's why Captain Kirk says at the end, you know, that movie goes, either you're going to help us or you're going to die.
Oh, yes.
Of course he's like, go ahead and kill me. And he's like, okay, we'll do it later. And then
Yeah.
later on, he goes, yeah, I lied. See, so that Klingon lost right there, because to him, it's the biggest. It would have been better for him to die than be taken a prisoner. Now he's a prisoner. He can't ever go back to the Klingon homeworld or Kronos.
Oh.
Oh yes, by the way, yeah, the Klingon homeworld is Kronos.
Kronos. Oh,
Yeah,
I
we
like
got
these
Earth.
names.
They got Kronos.
So, because I was going to ask about that, because that at the end, right, that was pretty funny. I didn't think Kurt was going to kill him, you know? He's like, oh, kill you
No, he
later.
wasn't. He wasn't. But I like it how he said, yeah, I lied.
You know, this whole movie is really great, right? Well, I think it's really great.
Oh, it's a good movie. It's a
So
good
what
movie.
happens was, like, I like that there was only like 6 people of the whole crew, right? Because they are looking for Spock. So they flew a whole big, huge ship. And then when
Yeah,
the Klingons saw this, the
Enterprise.
Enterprise, right? They thought like, oh, we're totally outnumbered. It's because they don't know. That's like,
Yeah, they don't know
it's
that.
not
Yeah.
a full crew running here.
Because basically, in a way, this is like a heist movie.
Yes, it's very much like a
It's
heist
a
movie.
heist movie. Yeah, it's a heist movie.
Right, because they stole the ship, they did some things, and like there's some, I guess you could say, action sequences between Solo and Kirk when they went to get McCoy out.
Yeah, they film McCoy. Yeah. Which I like. It's also got one of the best lines, you know, in McCoy when they film it, because I forgot to point this out, because Spock, even second movie, and I told you, did you notice the scene where he says "remember"?
Yes.
Because they did this last minute when they were making Star Trek 2. They thought, well, maybe Spock might decide to come back. They didn't know they were going to make this third movie.
Oh.
Pretty much, Spock was decided that the actor who played Spock decided he was done.
Oh, it's like kind of like Harrison Ford.
Yeah, he's kind of like that. He's like, I'm done being Spock. I don't want to do Spock no more. That's why they killed him off. He was happy about that. And then they thought, well, what if you might want to return? So they did the remember thing, and then boom, they let him direct it. We want to point out this. This is
I
directed
saw
by
that.
Leonard
He was
Nimoy.
directed by Leonard, like a
Yeah.
Leonard Nimoy film. So I called him like
Leonard
a
Nimoy.
Leonard Nimoy film. What?
Yep, Leonard Nimoy directed this film, and he also will direct this number 4 too.
Well, I know he wrote number 4.
He helped write it with Harve
that's
Bennett.
right.
We're trying to point out Harve Bennett is the producer who was able to make all these movies cheap
Possible,
enough
yes.
that you can make it. Because I mean, if you pay attention, a lot of the same footage and music is used for the third one
Yes.
to save money. Costumes are repurposed. Rooms, some of the Klingon stuff is sets from the second movie.
Yes, and it's small enough where like it's just use your imagination.
Yeah, use
Yes.
your imagination. So they made this movie possible.
I feel like with
But-
all those savings, right? The Klingon dog took most of the budget. Went to
Well,
make
you got to
this
think
Klingon
the
dog.
build the Bird of Prey too took a lot of money.
Yeah.
The Klingon ship.
Yes.
And of course, they built the scavenger, the freighter ship too.
the the
Those-
Klingon ship looks pretty good actually.
Oh, the Klingon ship's amazing. It
Yeah.
makes it all the way to the Next Generation time, which for some reason Klingons built it in a larger vessel.
So it looks like
So,
the Klingons only holds like maybe 10 to 11 people in one
well,
in that
this was
ship.
a small, yeah,
It was
this
a
was a
small
small
crew.
scout type
Yeah.
ship, yeah. So they're only 12. And most Klingon ships use small crews, anyways. Even their battle cruisers. And the battle cruisers, what you see in the first movie.
Oh.
Those 3 ships are running for big year and they get shot, blown up. Those are Klingon battle cruisers.
Oh man.
They are equivalent to the Enterprise.
Yes. Okay.
That would be a deal. But you also saw the cloaking. This is probably your first time seeing cloaking.
It was first time for seeing cloaking, right? In 1984. Even right now, right? I was still pretty impressed that they did this in 1984.
Well, let's put it this way: the cloaking came from the 1960s.
Oh man, no, it looks really good.
The cloaking device was created by the Romulans.
Oh, okay.
And the Romulans had a peace treaty with the Klingons. The Klingons eventually end up with their cloaking device.
The cloaking device. I like that because in the beginning, right? Well, it's kind of it's very much like right in the beginning. This lady was talking to these 2 people, like finding the Genesis thing, right?
Yeah.
And then she started speaking Klingon. I was like, whoa, what's going on here?
Well, she was Klingon.
Yeah, she was Klingon. Oh yeah, you could tell because she was the head.
Yeah.
But then that's the first time you see Christopher Lloyd's character. Like,
well, usually if they got like bumps on the head and a lot of cleavage,
yes,
Klingon women.
Klingon. So, yeah, there was a lot of cleavage. Oh, I noticed that too.
Oh, all Klingon women. If you watch the series, they all about cleavage.
So, and I'm thinking like, what the heck's going on here, right? And then when they show themselves, dude, I was blown away. They're like right in front of them the whole time communicating, and the girl's like, "Who are you talking to?" And like how so kind of like it just showed that they're ruthless, right? Because it was his wife that did the thing, and then they just shot them.
Yep.
Oh man,
there's a mission. The Klingon Empire has several different levels and stuff. And they have houses, ruling houses. So some captains kind of act on their own in the interest of the Klingon Empire.
Okay. But
you also got that. There's also called what they have Klingon sleeper ships, which you don't know this exists until the Next Generation.
Oh,
they have an episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation where they find a Klingon sleeper ship drifting into Federation territory. It's just ships where they go to sleep, battle cruisers, and then they're supposed to wake up during a war and fight.
Wow.
Yeah, wipe out the Federation.
Man.
Long live the Klingon Empire.
So I can't remember why were they so interested in the Genesis thing.
Well, yeah, the Genesis was a weapon. Let's say you have a planet like Earth. If you could shoot the torpedo at the Earth, it would annihilate everything on the Earth and rewrite it the way you want.
Yeah, rewrite. Oh, that's what they wanted for.
That's the way. That makes it a amazing weapon. Because you saw what it does. It wipes out anything there and regenerates.
Oh, it does. It regenerates. So that's what happened to, I guess, when they went they changed Lieutenant Zalvik.
Yeah, they did. They had to get another actress because who knows what the real story. We're not gonna get into. People say
I don't know.
Either some people say she was busy. Some people say she wanted a lot more money.
Oh, okay.
It could have been both or one or the other. It doesn't really matter. I mean, I would prefer Christy Alley's show back up.
I mean, like, this is not the first time movies did that. I mean, modern day they still do it. I mean, sometimes
especially Iron Man is the biggest one that's jumps in your face. But
it is. But the other one I remember when I was a kid, when the first time I noticed it was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Turtles 1 and Turtles 2, they changed actresses for April O'Neil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, what?
But like
same thing here. Same thing here. It's like, okay, but anyways, we got Lieutenant Zalvik who's different.
Yes.
But luckily for us, most of all the other actors stayed the same.
Yes, luckily for us, everybody else stays the same. Yep.
Yeah, of course. There's also another starship, the USS Grissom.
Yes.
We see it.
Yep.
So, and it gets annihilated by the Klingon bird of prey.
Oh yes, they did.
Yeah, I love that. That's a good scene, right? He tells us target the engines only. And then he shoots it, blows up the whole ship, and then of course he shoots that guy.
Yeah, he shoots that guy. Yep. Dude, that's when dude, they're not messing around, man.
Yeah, the Klingons don't mess around. Okay?
It's not like, why the heck did you do that? He just shot him.
Gunner. Yeah, he tells the gunner, target the engines only.
Yeah.
And of course then they do the Enterprise, and Pepper goes, understand. Yes. Target the engines only. Understand me.
And it's really crazy when the dog was hungry, feed the dog. And like, yes sir.
Yeah. Well, I guess you know how we're saying this was pretty cheap. If you think about it now, I'm thinking about it. You had the USS Grissom
Mhm.
made appearance. They designed a whole new starship. Klingon Bird of Prey, brand new starship that's never been seen before, and it actually was used several times in the Next Generation after this.
Yeah.
Then the best thing is the Star Space Dock, the
Oh.
giant space station.
Yes.
Look how big that thing is. It's like a
Yeah.
giant garage, parking garage, a space. And
For
then we got to
spaceships,
point
yeah.
out a very important starship, the USS Excelsior,
Celsius. Oh yes.
that starship that's kind of the futuristic looking starship set in a space dock, which
Yes.
actually becomes the next Enterprise too. They modify it, and years later, it becomes the Enterprise B,
I want to bring back the point that you were talking about the heist part, right?
that class.
Yes, the heist part, right? And I was thinking like there was one part that was really intense. It was the first time they were attacking each other, right? Like the Klingons thought, like, oh man, we're gonna get overtaken because it's like
Yeah,
the Enterprise is here, and at the same time, Kirk and his crew is like, oh, they have no idea they're being outnumbered, so we're trying to buff them, bluff,
yeah,
to call it
bluff.
bluff, and I like that. No, I think you, and then they called it. Christopher Lloyd, like the Klingon captain, called it right.
Yeah,
Then
call his bluff.
yo, that part was so good, you know.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And then when they did that, like, holy crap, what are we gonna do now? So Kirk
Yeah,
had the idea of like transferring them at the same time, right? So he blows his ship up. I did not think that they were gonna blow up the Enterprise.
yeah. Nobody thought this.
Yeah, I was like,
This. Let's put it this way. This is like killing Spock.
yes, it's on the same
Because
because
you got to
like
think this is the Enterprise refitted from the original movie TV
yes,
series. I mean, this is like a character to you.
yes, the ship
Because
is
I remember
very
the first
important.
time. See, it doesn't bother me that much to watch it now, but I remember when I first saw the ship blow up, I was like, dude, what a waste.
It is right because like it just basically just saves the six of them so they can kill off the rest of most of the
Well,
Klingons.
but you're surprised they blew up the ship.
I
He
was
killed
very
he killed all the crew except
yeah,
for what?
yeah. Well, except for the captain
4 people.
and like
They had 4 people left. They had 4 Klingons left.
Yeah.
He left that ship with 1. But were you surprised when they killed Captain Kirk's son?
I was very surprised. I didn't think he was gonna die.
Yeah, they killed him.
Yeah, I didn't think he was gonna die because like I would consider him a major character because it's Captain Kirk's son.
Yeah. Well, it comes back into play
It does.
in the 6th movie.
Well, it does.
Yeah, so all this will come back
Oh.
again.
So what I like is because they killed his son, right? But it also brings it reversed that psychology of like the way of many outweighs the need wave of a few or the one.
Yeah.
They reverse that, and now
Yeah,
I
they
say the
did.
need of the one is
Yeah,
outweighs
because
the many.
because they're pointing out the Vulcans do a lot of things to save a lot
To
of
save a
people,
lot of
and
people.
they'll sacrifice one, and people do that all the time. But in the end, it turns out their friendship for Spock, they're willing to sacrifice everything to save the one.
Right. And so since I was watching this, right, I was watching the J.J. Abrams too. So I watched the first one in Into Darkness. I did like Into Darkness, right? Because I never seen this or the second Wrath of Khan before. So when they reference in right in the beginning of the movie Into Darkness, they say they say that line. The Spock says it that the need for many outweighs the need of the one, right, or the few. So when they said that, like, oh, see, if I watch these first, I would understand the reference. Like, oh my god, this is going to be either going to be like the Wrath of Khan or something mixed with these 2, 3, and 4. Because now when I rewatch it, right, this is so much better. Like it makes for me the J.J. Abrams things. Like now I'm wondering, like, what are they gonna do? Are they gonna blow up the Enterprise in this one too? Like, what the hell? How many times are they gonna blow up the Enterprise? That's what
They've blown up the Enterprise quite a bit. The Enterprise is.
It's like,
Let's say, how many times have I seen one of the Enterprises destroyed?
It was like
quite a few times.
It would just keep coming back.
Well, yeah, it gets old after a while, though, you know.
Yeah, I figured
because that's the same thing in the second one, like the J.J. Abrams second one. That's what I was sitting there after seeing all that. I was like, if you blow up the Enterprise, I'm really gonna be ticked.
I never thought about that before.
Else, yeah.
You know, like even if they did it back then for
but
people who never
here's the
watched
thing,
Star
though.
Trek,
By the way,
I
I just want to spoil alert for anybody who's watching the Abrams Star Trek. They do blow up the Enterprise. Get over it. You know they are. But I mean, it come again. But there is a point because I mean they've blown up the Enterprise in a lot of movies, you know, which I thought was funny because there was one in the Next Generation when they almost lose the Enterprise E, And Picard's like, we're not doing this no more. No more losing Enterprises.
Oh. So the reason I brought up Into Darkness, right? Because there's a scene right in the beginning where Spock is trying to set up a detonator, and they find out that they can't phase him back up or whatever, and then
Transporter.
yeah. So McCoy and Kirk was trying to figure out like
Phasing it means something when it's getting shot. So
oh yeah, that's right. Beam them up back, whatever, right? And McCoy and Kirk was trying to figure out like what the hell we're gonna do. How do we save Spock's life? Because Spock is already giving up. Like, you know what? If I can save many, right, my life does not matter. So McCoy asked him like, Kirk asked this question like, what would I? No, I think it was McCoy. Like, come on, think about it. Do you think that like what if you guys place us with switch, right? What do you think Spock would do? And McCoy's like, he let you die. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
And now that I watched these, it helps that scene out a lot better. Like, yeah,
in that series, in that deal, but in the future, Spock would do almost the same thing Kirk would, and he wouldn't lose Kirk.
He wouldn't lose Kirk. Yep.
Even his human side would kick in, and that would be.
Yeah, that would be the.
But the thing is, most of these movies are always showing how Kirk cheats death. Oh, especially this one.
Yes.
I mean, the Klingons should have beat him. Yes, instead, he wipes out the whole Klingon crew.
Oh yeah.
At the cost of his ship, but he did it. He beat him. Like even McCoy tells him, "You gave us another fighting," or somebody says, "You gave us another fight. You faced death and gave us another fighting chance." Or something like that. Because I mean,
he like McCoy's character a lot.
Oh, you gotta love McCoy's character. But like McCoy has the best line in this movie too. Because remember when they said, "Oh, he's about to be sent to the funny farm."
Yes.
And he's laying there. They go.
He said that to Scotty, right?
Yeah. Well, they said that to. No, I think they said it to Kirk.
Okay, yeah.
And anyways, he's like, he asked him, he goes, "You got your katra," which we will explain in a minute.
Yes.
He goes, "Spock, put his katra in your head." He goes, "Well, that green-blooded son of a bitch."
Yes.
Because this is his revenge for all those arguments
that he lost.
I was like, what arguments that he lost?
That was so funny. He lost. He's so arrogant. I love it. I can see that, like, when, like, I totally see your point from, like, last week when we talked about the Wrath of Khan, how if we were younger, if I was younger, right, I wouldn't like McCoy as much, but now that I'm adult, like, oh, dude, I love this character.
I remember not ever being impressed, but as I got older, it's like, this guy's crazy.
Exactly. This
guy actually makes more sense a lot of times.
Now that I'm adult, I totally get it now. It's so funny.
He's usually the voice of reason in every situation.
Yes. He's just speaking the truth. Like, are you out of your mind? Because who's that? Carl Urban does that too in the modern Star Trek. He does exactly the same way. Like, dude, I like this guy.
Yeah. Well, I remember watching that J.J. Abrams, and we saw that, and my dad was there. He was like, "That's Bones."
Yes, that's Bones, exactly.
It's like, no, nobody doesn't know who he's playing.
Yeah, he's definitely McCoy. That's so great, Bones.
Definitely McCoy. But yeah, by the way, what I point out the katra is what you see in Star Trek 2.
Yes, it's
like a mind meld. They did the mind meld, and he put his essence inside of McCoy's head.
McCoy.
And basically, I guess, and plus you see Sarek, and this is the same actor who's played Sarek in all the Star Trek.
Yeah, after this.
No, this is actually in the 60s movie, in the 60s TV shows. This is the same actor, Mark Alamo. No, it's not Mark Alamo. I got the wrong actor. I forgot what his name is.
Wait, you said Selvig?
Yeah, the dad.
Oh, the dad. Oh, yeah. The dad. Spock's dad, right? You're talking about?
Yeah, Spock's dad.
Yes.
Yeah, Mark Leonard. Mark Leonard.
So he plays Spock's dad.
Yeah, he plays Spock's dad. You didn't know that who that was?
No.
And that's Ambassador Sarek.
Yeah,
it's Spock's father.
Yeah, Spock's father. Yes.
And he's actually in the first TV series.
Oh, he is in the 60s.
Yeah, he actually makes the actor makes the same appearance as the Next Generation too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Ambassador Sarek.
So Vulcans live a long time, right?
Vulcans live centuries.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because Spock, you gotta remember, you see Spock in the J.J. Abrams one.
Yeah, because they live centuries. Oh.
He's like 300 years old or more by that time.
Oh, so that's why they always say that you shall and always be my friend.
Yeah.
Even though humans don't live as long as Vulcans.
Yeah, Spock saw everybody die.
See, I didn't know.
You gotta think Spock's already gone through several captains.
Yes.
He's seen a lot of admirals. He's seen a lot of people die.
That means a lot more now when they say, because I didn't know Vulcans live centuries.
Yeah, they live centuries. By the Next Generation time, by the time Picard's time, there's only a few of the crew still alive. McCoy is still alive, but he's old, like hundreds of years old.
Oh, so the aliens are different.
But again, there was an accident and Scotty lives.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's actually a good episode. But
what?
Yeah, Kirk is dead.
Well, yeah.
By that time.
Yeah. Oh, so I can see why like they weren't able to write Kirk into the story. I mean, they could if they do some the time travel stuff. But that makes so much sense for J.J. Abrams to have Spock there. Because they live centuries. Oh.
He lives hundreds of years, but you got to think, though, he went back in time, too.
He went back in time, too.
But the problem is, J.J. Abrams, the first of J.J. Abrams movie, those people, the whatever the ship is, the Romulans.
The Romulans.
They come out of Picard's time.
They came out of Picard's time.
Yeah, they came out of Picard's time.
Whoa. Oh,
basically,
my gosh.
This is the thing. Basically, you could watch all the Next Generation, Deep Space Nine and all that, and go into Abrams' universe.
Oh,
Abrams' universe is the end of it, because you got that thing. If you watch the Next Generation, Spock actually becomes an ambassador like his father, and then he sneaks into the Romulan Empire, and he's been underground trying to turn Romulans back to the Vulcans, because Romulans and Vulcans are the same species.
Yeah, that's what the Zachary Quinto said too. They share the same ancestor.
The thing is, they seem to say they share the same ancestry. During their wars, a lot of the Romulans left, and they kept all the ways of thinking, feelings, emotions. That's why they kind of started dark. While the Vulcans shed all emotions and feelings, and became enlightened people.
Oh, that's very interesting.
The Romulans kept their, they're like the Romans of the old days.
Oh, is that why
they have gladiator fights? Yeah, it's all about strength, cunning, underhandedness, power.
So they are strong people. So they would also live centuries.
Yes, they live hundreds and hundreds of years.
Oh my gosh.
Well, they don't live near as long as Vulcans, though, because of the way they live.
Yeah, the way they live, yeah. But
they're actually strong, because if you want to point out, Vulcans are stronger than Klingons. Klingons are almost a little stronger than humans, but close to the same.
So Vulcans are stronger than Klingons, okay.
But yeah, Vulcan can lift a Klingon, because we even see it on Star Trek 3. Remember that shows young Spock? He grabs that Klingon and tosses.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Which we want to point this out for anybody who doesn't know this. After Vulcans become adults, they have to mate every 7 years or it kills them.
Oh.
It drives them nuts.
Yeah, that's what they would do. That's what Selvig was saying.
Yeah.
And he was aging rapidly. Spock
was
aging rapidly.
We always want to point out something happened between Spock and Saturday.
Yes, that's what I was thinking too. Like,
okay, so I just want everybody to know, because this comes up.
Yes.
And this is, it doesn't show it in any of the movies.
No, it doesn't.
It's, like a fan speculation.
It's spoken. It's
that
spoken.
She eventually has she has Spock's son.
No.
That's the way fans say it. I mean, if it's not shown on screen, it's not canon.
Oh, okay.
Most likely, he did.
Yeah, because she was just it's logic that's just helping him out.
Yeah, she's helping him out. Plus, she liked him. So, I mean, Spock. I mean, all Vulcans know Spock, because Spock is supposed to have been the first to join Starfleet.
Yes.
And his father opposed it.
Yes, yeah, I saw
that. What you see in the deal, because basically what you see in Abrams is what happened in the original series.
Yes.
In a way.
Yeah, he opposed.
Yeah, he did not want.
Because they wanted to do the Vulcan Council, High Council thing, right?
Yeah, he wanted them to do the Science Academy.
The Science Academy,
and go do the Kellinar and become a good Vulcan like he should.
So did the J.J. Abrams kind of mirror the original series because Spock is half human, right?
Yes, Spock is half human, and actually the next movie we'll talk about is Mom.
Yes.
But you've already seen his mom, so
yeah. Not the writer.
Yeah, his mom was a teacher from Earth.
Okay. Oh yeah, and he was Spock's dad was sent to Earth to
yeah, he's an ambassador.
Yeah, ambassador.
Yeah, Ambassador Sarah. And he's been around for hundreds of years.
You know what? I didn't think this movie was bad at all. Star Trek 3.
Oh, it's not bad, but it's not as good as 2.
I think I knew.
And it's not as good as 4.
So it's not as good as
that's
4.
That's why I don't want to call it a curse.
Yeah, not a curse, but it's just.
But the even numbers always do better at the box office.
Well, this movie didn't do bad at the box office because the budget was only like $12 million,
budget
right?
Was
they made
cheap,
86.
Yeah, they did really good with it.
It's $16 million. They made 87. Those pretty
because
successful.
Basically these were Star Trek.
Oh, these are definitely Star Trek. See, I know that I don't remember if I told you, right? I told my wife like, if I start watching these Star Trek movies, right, I have a feeling I'm gonna like them a lot, and I did, man. I like them a lot. Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's somebody else told me because I knew this other guy I worked with. He only watched the Abrams, and I kept griping about the second one. Oh, he didn't understand me. Finally, he told me he went back and watched one all the way to six, and he's like, "I understand why you're griping now."
Oh yeah, I do too. I understand. I seen 2, 3. I seen the motion picture all the way to 4. Right. I could see why you're griping.
Yeah.
But then I watched the J.J. Abrams first. I still liked all of them.
Well, that's the thing. I don't dislike it. It's just to me the second one was lazy.
Yeah.
And it kind of to me was a little disrespectful.
Really, I didn't see it that way. Even though we watched,
I'm sure they were thinking, oh, this is our homage to Star Trek 2, and I'm sure it was.
I did. Okay, so let's talk about that since we saw Wrath of Khan and you remember the J.J. Abrams, right? And I just watched it this week. You know, in and out of there. I finished watching this movie this week, and I'm thinking like I didn't feel like it was a reboot. Okay, I didn't feel like they were playing what did you say, a montage?
Yeah, homage.
Homage.
They're playing. They're showing their respects to it.
Oh yeah, see, I didn't see that at all. Like I guess in a way they probably did trying to show their respects to it, but if they didn't, that was fine too for me, because it was kind of like the multiverse. Like, hey, this happened in a different way because somebody changed something in the past.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the problem is, the past. They should have worked a little bit better on their past.
Well, you know what?
Because the uniforms and the ships don't fit the past of the United Federation.
Yeah, it does. That bothers me a little too. I feel like
it bothers me a little bit.
It's like,
but because I actually think Abrams tried to do a reboot, and he to make things right, he went ahead and said, "Oh, it's just alternate reality now."
Well, okay, I could get on board with the alternate reality, but I can't. I don't think it's a reboot for me.
Okay, yeah.
To me, it's still like some kind of continuation because Spock is still there. That's why it's not
still there, and the Romulans were still basically there. I mean, they changed a few things, but
you know what I want to point out? I mean, we'll probably talk about it later, right? So seeing the Klingons like this, and then seeing J.J. Abrams Romulan like this, like, it actually for me it matches how ruthless these race of aliens are. Because just think about Eric Banner's character, right? Because Spock.
Yeah, well, Eric. And his character was just probably wasn't always a bad man.
No, see, that's what I was going to point out. So let me finish this thought. Like the Romulan, like, okay, he didn't understand that Spock was trying to help them, but he wasn't able to. So he totally blamed everything on Spock. And in this vengeance, right, he decided to go back in time to make sure Spock could be helpless. So there's 2 versions of him feeling helpless while he destroyed the entire planet. Like, the second time, not the second time, when I watched it recently, right, like, this is pretty ruthless.
Yeah, he made a good feeling.
Yeah, I did get the feeling like I understand what it did, but it's not okay. Okay.
In a way, that's the thing is they're giving them con level villains now.
Yeah, like I totally understand.
Because I mean, you gotta think Captain Courage or whatever his name was, Christopher Lloyd's character.
Yeah.
He was kind of like Khan. He was cunning, smart, and everything.
Yes.
You know?
And ruthless, man. Like, dude,
yes, he was ruthless too. I mean, but he's a Klingon.
Not piss him off, okay?
Yeah, he was a Klingon, so.
Yeah.
I mean, because you got to remember there's Worf in the Next Generation.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Remember, there's a Klingon on the
There's a Klingon in the Next Generation, yes.
But, yeah, the Klingons eventually, their image gets better. I mean, they're still warriors. You don't cross them, but they're not like this guy.
They're not like, dude, this guy,
Plus,
don't mess around.
But you got to think, right, to them, the Klingon Empire is at war with the Federation.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah,
even though the Federation is not technically at war with them.
Yep.
But I mean, the Klingon Empire and the Federation fought wars against each other. Same thing with the Romulans.
So the second one, the Wrath of Khan, obviously Khan was the ruthless leader, right? And this one is Christopher Lloyd. He's a ruthless leader. That's 2 in a row.
Yeah.
It was like every time, like, okay, Spock dies in this one, we just fought a really difficult guy, right? And then we go home in like a little bit, like I don't know how long the voyage is, all right?
Yeah.
Now we had to go up into another difficult guy.
Yeah.
Can we take a break somewhere?
Yeah, and they didn't expect this guy to be out there either. So.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, we're going to go see the Grissom. Instead, we come across a Klingon bird of prey.
Yes.
And some dude wants to kill us. And of course, there's a little battle. Of course, you got to think, because it's funny when he goes to the planet, he grabs that little snake. They want to shoot that snake. He grabs it and kills it right there.
Oh, yeah, he kills it right there.
Just to show his man how tough he is.
Oh, like, yes, I saw that. I'm like, I thought the snake was going to kill him, right? No, he held on. Then he just kept squeezing the snake until like this ooze comes out and then he kills it.
And it's also still, you got the fight between the captain and Kirk.
Yes, the captain and Kirk. Yeah, obviously.
And Kirk even tried to save him.
Yes, and that's death is better.
Yeah, he didn't even have to. That guy ordered his son to be killed.
Yep.
But then he kicks him in the face. Yeah, he kicked him right in the face.
Yeah. I mean, like the dying scene.
I would like one of those Klingon knives.
Oh, me too.
Give me a bat lift and one of them knives.
Yes.
That'd be good.
Oh, now I gotta think about the Selvig and Spock thing some more. Because, like, if they did, right, that means, like, did you just sleep with a 13-year-old Spock and then, like, a 20-year-old Spock?
No, we can't say that because, adulthood, whatever adulthood is.
For Vulcans. Oh,
yeah.
That's right. That's when they start getting those, look like seizures or whatever.
Urges. Yeah, urges. Yeah. After they pass the 7 years, man, it can kill you.
Did they do that thing in Big Bang Theory? Did Sheldon do the same thing?
Yes,
they did.
No,
right?
He didn't do that, but I remember when they saw what was his name.
Amy.
Amy?
Yeah.
What is her last name?
Phil Fowler. Well, Fowler.
Yeah, they said that. Yeah, I can't remember what character. I think it was Howard. He goes, "Yeah, we're gonna find you a mate, and you can pawn far."
That's what that is.
That's what it's called.
So I never knew what that pawn far meant until
that's
now.
That's what it meant. That's what he said. You can pawn far.
Yes, pawn far Sheldon. Oh, that's so much funnier now.
This is actually introduced to the '60s TV series.
Oh, so I feel like
it's actually because see, most Vulcans get engaged early, and they already have a mate picked out for them.
Oh, really? Kind of like East Indian people.
But they can actually turn this off.
They can?
Yeah, the mating part, they can actually shut it off because they're mind melded to somebody actually in a way.
Oh.
Eventually, and he was mind melded to a princess, like a Vulcan. Because apparently they got still Vulcan princesses and stuff. But anyways, there's some girl, yeah, and Spock is supposed to fight. Once this girl's like actually doesn't want Spock, but she tricked him to try to kill Captain Kirk just out of spite.
Really?
Women are women no matter what alien race they are, okay? That's probably so much to say. But I mean, the thing is, I don't know how it happens. But anyways,
Hold on, I gotta write that line down. Women are women no matter what alien race they are.
We should do that.
Women are women no matter
what species they are.
What alien race they are. That's so funny.
But anyhow, basically, because she's got this little gong, you gotta go up and hit her gong, and then you fight. And if you win, then you gotta go with her. I don't remember the story. But basically, Kirk loses or acts dead, and Spock is done. He breaks out of it, and that girl gets her guy that she actually likes.
Oh, okay.
And everybody's happy. Thank God we don't have to do this on Earth. I'd be dead.
I'm understanding like so much more about Vulcans just because you told me the 7-year thing and the pawn far.
There's a lot of stuff. That's the interesting thing. There is so much backstory to all the alien races.
There is. So how
much backstory do you know to all the alien races in the Star Wars universe?
None until I started watching the Clone Wars.
Yeah, but I mean, they all got you've already heard. You've all know about all the Vulcan society stuff. Plus, you heard their language.
Yes.
Now you know about the Klingons.
Yes.
Plus their language.
So I was gonna say that I can't wait till I watch all these movies, right? Probably up to the J.J. Abrams one, then go back to watch the Big Bang Theory. It's just like, oh, now I understand.
Oh yeah, well that's the thing. You're gonna get so many jokes.
Yeah, because I was like,
there's so many jokes you are not getting.
Yeah, I was not getting, at all. And now I was like, oh, that's so funny. Because sometimes when I rewatch Big Bang, right, Heather watches it with me, and now I can explain that. Now it's funnier.
Well, it is funny because you got to think, like you pointed out, Penny is like Dr. McCoy.
Oh my God! Wait until we talk
Sheldon
about
is Spock. Leonard is Kirk.
Sometimes Leonard is not Kirk because he doesn't do the the bravery stuff like that. Kirk.
Well, he doesn't, but he's kind of Kirk in the. He's the third of the three friends. Plus, you got Howard as the chief engineer.
Oh, Scotty.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, Kutapali. I don't know who Kutapali's going to be, but.
I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen.
He's kind of like the navigator. He's kind of like Chekhov.
So Chekhov and Sulu mix, yes.
Yeah, he's kind
Yeah.
of like Chekhov Sulu mixed
I could
together.
probably
He's a
see that
helmsman.
once I watch more, yeah. But
Yeah, he's the helmsman.
McCoy is definitely Penny. The more I seen Star Trek, like even like when
Yeah,
we get to number 4, right? Yeah, yep. That's like when
yes.
I noticed it in the second one, like but this one they didn't have too much Spock and McCoy interaction because
Yeah,
the whole
they
yeah.
didn't put it that much
But
in, but
number
eventually it
4,
becomes
man,
relevant.
oh gosh, yeah. Wait until we talk about number 4. It's awesome. I think
Yeah.
I like number. Well, we'll get to number 4 when we talk about
Okay,
it.
we'll get to number four next show.
Yes, but like it feels like when they go to Genesis, right? Does that mean they can recreate anyone?
No, it just was a fluke in a way. I
It
mean, they
was a
shot him on the
fluke, right?
planet, and the stuff that's the proto matter that's on Genesis
Oh, that's
apparently
right.
took his cells
Yep.
and rewrote him. And then, of course, you saw that stuff floating around the
Yeah.
photon tube, which was amoebas, because amoebas are in our world constantly. It's just basically germs that were stuck on the tube from people handling.
Yes.
And apparently, they didn't burn off into space,
Oh, and that's why they kind of
and
mutated.
they mutated too.
Yeah.
Started growing. Of course, the
Oh.
proto matter was what made the planet break up. Of course, they decide the planet's not any good because I think the Federation sees it as making new worlds, but the Klingons only see it as a weapon because that's what their twisted minds want to use it for.
Yeah, just that way, if you don't join us,
They're
bye.
they're like, oh, you're going to annihilate the Klingon race, blah blah blah. Yeah,
It's like the
like
Star Killer base.
Yeah, like the Federation's like really cares about annihilating
Yes.
anybody. Because I mean, they have the Prime Directive, which I don't know if you know what the Prime Directive is, but you should since you said J.J. Abrams. Do you know what the Prime Directive?
What is the Prime Directive?
It's not interfering into a world that's not culturally
Oh, that's
evolved
right.
enough to enter the Federation.
Yes, it's kind of like the Into Darkness talk about that. The Prime
Yeah,
Directive.
so basically, when me and you're out on the street, we meet people that don't like Star Trek. We can't interact with them because they're not evolved enough.
So it's so funny you talk about that, right? I think I read a meme or a tweet the other day
Yeah,
or
there is
yesterday.
one.
It's like no, it was probably last night, right? They trying to figure out who's better, Star Trek fans or Star Wars fans, okay? They said Star Trek fans are better because the excuse is, well, Star Trek fans doesn't hate 6 out of the 9 movies that Star Wars made. I thought about you immediately. I was like, well, you know what? I love all 9 movies. I don't even care, like, people say they're bad, right? I enjoy all 9 movies. I didn't say, but then some people are like, oh, they say they like Star Wars. Like, yeah, they meant they only like 4, 5, and 6. And probably Road One, but they hate everything else. Like, then you're not a Star Wars fan. What the hell are you doing? It's like, I cannot call myself a Karate Kid fan, right? But only like the first one.
Yeah, I like the first one. Sorry.
Oh. I thought about that. Like, do you agree? Like, you can't call it, like, do you agree that the Star Trek fans are better because they like all the movies, right? You like all 12.
Yeah, yeah, to a point. I mean, I there's things I don't like about them. I
Yeah,
pointed
but you
out.
don't hate them.
I don't hate them.
Yeah, I don't
No,
hate
there's
them either.
none. I don't even hate J.J. Abrams, but I mean, J.J. Abrams stuff is different.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I only seen
Fine.
7 Star Trek movies so far, and I love
I think
all
they
of
could have
them.
done better. Yeah, it could have been better. But I mean, I don't think that's. I really don't think that's the bearing on it. Because I mean, like you say, Star Wars. I love all the Star Wars.
I love all
movies
Star
too.
Wars movies too.
So I don't know what the problem is there.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think.
like,
I think that's just a dumb meme. To be honest. With you.
it's a dumb tweet, but then it is right to a certain degree. Like some
Yeah.
people definitely like you can't call yourself a Star Wars
But
fan.
I mean, there are Star Trek fans I know hate 5. Star Trek
Ooh, I
5,
can't wait to
or
see
they'll
Star
hate
Trek
the
5.
Abrams. They hate all the Abrams movies. They won't even watch them. And that's. I mean, I understand it.
The episode I can't wait to rewatch again is the argument between Cooper Polly and Sheldon. They were talking about which Star Trek was the best movie, and I remember Cooper Polly like, let me tell you 3 words: Wrath of Khan.
Yeah, well, this one he says is the best, but their argument was between what was the worst. Was it 1
which was the
or
worst?
5?
Oh,
Sheldon,
okay.
which I think Cooper Polly. Okay, I think it's Sheldon didn't like 5 was the worst.
Okay.
To him, and Cooper Polly was like 1's the worst.
Okay, so I can't wait to watch 5 later.
The problem is I'll have to get back to it. It's going to be hard one for me because see, I always liked 5 better than 1, but now we rewatched them.
Yeah,
I may like the first one better than the fifth one.
Yeah,
I like the 5th one. I can understand why people don't like the 5th one. The 5th one is the first Star Trek that I saw in a theater, though.
Oh, okay.
That's one reason I like it. Plus, I actually like some of the lines, and I like the general idea behind it.
Ah, okay.
But
Okay, so
When we
once
get
we
there.
get that, I'll let you know which one I think is worse or which one is better. Let's say it that way.
Yeah, which
One
one
or
is
five
better?
is better. Yep. Because
Yeah,
I like number one. I still did
yeah.
like number one when I watched it. Like
Number one actually
because
turned out
like
to
when
be
you
pretty
told me
good.
like so my expectation was low and when I was watching it's like what the hell are you talking about? This got me so focused. Like what the hell is that?
Yeah,
What
well,
is it?
that's the thing. They must have re-edited it or something.
Well, I was gonna ask you like because I
Because I
watched this
remember it being
digital.
so long, but the last time I watched it, I don't remember it being long as
Oh,
that.
the running
It
time
didn't
was
feel like
long. Like
yeah,
it's
but
like
I
a
don't
little over
remember it
2 hours.
feeling as long. But I remember the first time I watched it, it felt like it was so long.
See, I think.
But
Do you think
the
the
second
time?
time I watched it,
Well, do you think the time gap, like even though they make like some enhancement visuals, right?
well, who knows? Maybe it's because we watched a lot of crappy movies before we watched it. I don't know because we
It
saw
could be too.
because we know we watched some crappy movies.
Yeah, now we compare to Star Trek. Oh, Star Trek was better. I was like, hey, which one do you want to watch? Star Trek the motion picture or Batman and Robin? Like, whoa, that's not that's like
You
easy
already know you're
decision.
going to
Yeah,
watch
like,
Star
I will
Trek,
watch Star
right?
Trek. I'm
Yeah,
not
I
gonna
mean,
sit
like
through this pain again.
that's like asking still even that it's like asking you want to ride in the Ford Pinto or do you want to ride in the Lamborghini?
Oh god, I want to lie in the Lamborghini.
Exactly. It's probably that Countach from the '80s, but hey,
Yes, yeah, it's
still
just,
better than whatever the crap that Batman and Robin was.
it's like if I would never watch it by myself again, right? If I ever show my kids like the first Batman Michael Keaton and they keep want to
Yeah.
like if they find out like oh that's three other ones, I will watch it with them. But if I
Yeah.
watch it by no, that's not happening. That's
Yeah,
not
you should do that to your kids. You should just give them Star Trek and be done.
well, I was gonna say like you know what? Oh, it ends with Batman Forever. That's it. That's
Yeah,
it.
sorry,
There's no more.
sorry, kids. Oh, by the way, y'all gonna watch Star Trek now? Because I want smarter children.
I think well the J.J. Abrams one to me like is obviously hugely updated. I did like that. I'm able to see the scenes more intense in the bridge because you know back then all they can do is like shake the camera to, and then the actors
Yeah,
have to act
I
like
mean,
you
a
know.
lot has changed. I mean, Abrams has a lot of effects and time on his side,
Well, yeah, it doesn't matter if
but
it's
he
Abrams
doesn't.
or not. It's
But
just
to
the
me, he doesn't
time
have
of
story
release.
on his side. Yeah, story on his side.
I like the story.
It was okay.
You'll probably be watching more because you're more of a Star Trek. Like you know the history of Star Trek.
Yeah, I'm
so
more a
you know.
Star Trek than a Star Wars guy. So I mean, when you have a Star Wars guy making a Star Trek movie, there's something wrong.
See, this is we talk about this so many times. It's just like having Josh Whedon trying to fix Zack Snyder's stuff. Yeah, it's asking Kevin Feige like, "Hey, can you give us some pointers to do Morbius?" No, we should do the whole thing. Like,
Yeah,
no, you
we
can't.
should do the whole thing.
You cannot
Exactly.
have someone help them on. Yeah, they should
Exactly.
not. Like, you cannot have. You should not have Abrams do or whatever because the studios think like, "Oh, this is gonna work." No, man, it's not. Even J.J. Abrams said like, "I'm a Star Wars guy."
Yeah, he's like, I don't really like
I'm
Star
like,
Trek.
I never watched Star
And
Trek.
I'm like,
I'm a
then
Star
what are you
Wars
here?
guy.
Are you here for?
Because they pay me. That's why.
Exactly. I'm like, get out.
Yeah. Yeah.
You J.J. Abrams, get out. I'll go see you over there. at
Hey,
Disney.
so did you watch this on DVD? Because I want to talk about the digital
Yes.
content for a minute.
I watched it digital actually. I watched the new digital stuff.
On what device? What
I
do you
watched it
watch?
on Apple.
Oh, so you have it on Apple because you bought it on
Yeah.
Apple, okay?
Yeah, I
Let
bought
me
it
tell
on
you
Apple.
this. So I bought this on Vudu. Vudu is the streaming service
Yeah.
that Walmart has, right? So
Okay.
sometimes when you buy a movie on Vudu, it's also available on Amazon and vice versa. Sometimes I buy stuff on Amazon, right? Because it's $4.99, but I can order on Vudu. But in this case, because it's owned by freaking Paramount, right? I think Paramount has a lot to do with the licensing rights. I
Yeah.
got it
Well,
on
CBS, yes, they
yeah.
guard their Star Trek stuff,
So I bought
and they better.
on Vudu, but then I was not able to watch it on Amazon. So you know what? I bought that movie twice
Wow.
because it depends on which
Hey.
streaming device I bought. I hooked up on a TV, right? It's such a huge inconvenience for me to use
Yeah.
Vudu opposed to like I want to watch on Amazon, whatever. Because I feel like that service is better. So I actually, you know what? I bought number 2 twice. I bought number 3 twice. I bought number 4 twice.
Okay, well, you are now an honorable Trekkie or Trekker, depending on what you prefer. I mean, come on, you save Star Trek,
I'm like, I have a feeling.
and
you
you
know
have
what?
a very nice uniform to go with it.
Well, thank you.
I would like to see your sleeves. All right, yeah, I just want to see if your ranks are on there. Yeah,
Yeah.
those are nice. I don't
These
have
are
any.
nice.
I'm an ensign.
Oh yeah,
So I
these
got
are like
beat.
lights up, but like you know the stitching comes off easily because like one of those cheap costume ones.
Well, hey, this shirt's hot. The thing's kind of so crooked,
Dude, that looks
so
awesome though.
it
The
looks good
gold.
right now. Yeah, and
So
it is yellow.
that's
It
what
is
they
so
want on
yellow.
TV, right? I mean, on the
This is
TV.
supposed to be a representation of what they wore on TV.
Oh,
Of
okay.
course, there's supposed to be bands and stuff. But yeah, this is the closest thing I've seen to what they wore in the original series. I mean, of
Oh,
course, I need the black pants
yes,
and the
Black
zip
Panther. Yeah.
up the side boots. But
Wow. It's just so cool. It's just like when what's his name, Chris Pine wears it. Like, man, I want to wear it too.
yours is just one piece. I mean, yours is
No, it's
one
just one
piece
piece.
now.
Yeah, it's just one piece.
Yeah, Chris Pine's member, it's a black shirt
It's a
with a
black shirt and
jersey
he
over the
wore the
top.
gold jersey on top. I know that's probably like
Would be
$70.
cool.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah, that's gonna be
Hey,
expensive.
it said, is your badge metal?
No, it's just like
Plastic?
a cheap
Oh,
iron-on thing.
okay.
Yeah,
Oh, is it? Oh, it looks like it is either metal or a piece of plastic.
I should
So
wear a
you,
better black shirt. I mean, a solid black shirt. Can you see what it weighs
what do you
on it?
have under? You have Tesla under
I have a
there?
Tesla black shirt underneath it.
Oh God. Well, that's good. I mean, you can't wear a Tesla on a Star Wars, but you could wear it under Star Trek.
Yeah, I feel that would make more sense, but I don't know
It
why.
feels like it makes sense. I mean, come on, because like we all know, what would Iron Man watch? Star Wars or Star Trek?
Oh, I don't know
Oh, it's Star Trek.
because
Oh, it's because it's in the Captain America movie. Duh.
I
When he
forgot
writes the
about that.
list out for
Oh,
Captain America
yeah,
movies to watch. Yeah.
Star Trek. Yep. You know, it's really funny. A lot of like, when we say Star Trek or Star Wars, right? A lot of people think like the cell phone, like the smartphone. This is a Star Trek device. If you think about it, right?
Yeah, because the pad.
Yeah, the pad and everything you can do on here.
Yeah, remember all the pads that had those little plastic sheets and they just write on it and then all the computer stuff's on it.
Yes, my Star
Flip
Trek
on
device.
Star Trek, dude.
That's the thing. Like, if I go back in time, right, and I bring my smartphone, people would be more interested in my smartphone than the time machine that I travel back in
Oh,
time.
because it's going to be hard to believe that you came back in a time machine, but you could have built that thing that you got in your hands
Yeah. Oh, yes.
because they can hold it.
They can
You can't
hold it. They can
time.
see it. Yep.
I mean, they can pick you up and hug you, but it's not going to help them with time travel understanding. So, I mean, come on, they're not going to get it. But anyways, we want to point out by the end of this movie, it's called The Search for Spock. They do find Spock.
They do find Spock.
They put his katra back in his head.
Yes.
Because I mean, I think there was some joke or something going around about when they were making this movie, what was going to be about. And they thought, well, what if we don't find Spock? And then, of course, the producer's like, if we don't find Spock in this movie, people are going to throw rocks at the screen and walk out of it.
Well, it makes sense. I can understand why they think that because the movie is just called The Search of Spock. The movie's called like We Found Spock. It's the searching.
Yeah. Also, I want to point out something. Here's something cool.
I always want to see
Anybody that liked FASA? You ever heard of FASA? They make games, role playing games and stuff.
No,
This is something I have set in here. It came out about when Star Trek 3 came out. They put out a little game.
Starship Duo.
They put out a lot of games, but this was a little game you play on your tabletop with against like the Reliant versus Klingon spaceship.
Really?
It's made by FASA. That company went out of business. I'd say the biggest games that FASA put out was BattleTech and Shadowrun. And Shadowrun, you probably heard of Shadowrun too.
I think our friend Eric heard of Shadowrun too.
Yeah.
Is it on the Super
yeah, that
Nintendo?
was the big deal. But they were the first ones to get the right to Star Trek, and they put out a little role playing game, and then they updated it as Star Trek 3 came out. But yeah, I had this sitting on my shelf. Never played it. I ought to play it by myself. But
yeah. If you're a crazy person.
I play a lot of games by myself. That doesn't make me crazy. Play checkers by myself, dude.
Yes.
Sometimes you got to. Sometimes play with yourself is all you can do.
You know,
that's wrong.
The other thing about this movie is when it ended, right? It's not like they found Spock and everybody went home. They ended in a way like we found Spock, right? And then that was it. Like that was the movie.
Basically they all were happy that they found Spock and they're all friends. And that's when we go on to the next movie.
Yes, we go on to the next movie. So with that note, I'm gonna end it right here. Thank you for watching this segment of our reviews. I hope you had a great time listening to us. Be sure to subscribe and give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you on the next one. Laters.